We will establish a national capability across police forces to tackle violent disorder. These thugs are mobile, they move from community to community, and we must have a policing response that can do the same. Shared intelligence, wider deployment of facial recognition technology, and preventative action, criminal behaviour orders to restrict their movements before they can even board a train, in just the same way that we do with football hooligans. And let me also say to large social media companies and those who run them, violent disorder clearly whipped up online, that is also a crime. It's happening on your premises, and the law must be upheld everywhere.
This is my video update on this Thursday midday, August the 1st. Let's talk about some news, and let's start things off with some breaking news. Fox News is reporting that Wall Street Journal journalist Evan Gershkovich is going to be released in a prisoner swap that has been agreed with Russia. And Gershkovich will most likely be on a plane to the United States either this afternoon or tomorrow. We do not know who the United States or the collective West is releasing for Gershkovich, but Fox News is saying that the deal has been made, and the Wall Street Journal journalist, who the Russian Federation accused of spying and was actually sentenced by a Russian court to 16 years in prison for spying while he was reporting from Russia. He is going to be on a plane to the United States. This is what Fox News is reporting, citing their sources. So we don't know who the United States or the collective West will release. And I say collective West because I have a hunch that the Russian national that will be released to Russia for this prisoner swap will be coming from Germany. That's my hunch. I could be wrong, but that's my feeling on this story. We'll find out. I imagine by the time this video is published, we'll find out who Russia will be receiving for Evan Gershkovich. But that is the breaking news as it's being reported by Fox News. We'll get more information as the day moves along. Now let's talk about the announcement from the Pentagon that the F-16 Wonder weapon is ready to go in the Ukraine proxy war. That is right. The Pentagon is reporting that Ukraine has received its first F-16s. They are currently in Ukraine. We do not know the exact number of F-16s that are in Ukraine, but the reports are saying it's a small number of fighter jets. We also don't know from which country the F-16s were donated. What is the country of origin for the F-16s? I have read reports which are hinting at F-16s donated by the Netherlands. These are the first F-16s that will see action in Ukraine. And who's going to be the pilots of these F-16s? Is it going to be Ukrainian pilots, or are we going to see NATO pilots? But the Pentagon is reporting that the F-16s, as promised, the Pentagon said they promised by summer Ukraine would get F-16s, and the Pentagon is saying that they delivered. So the Wonder Weapon, the F-16 Wonder Weapon, perhaps the final Wonder Weapon for this conflict has been delivered. The F-16s are in Ukraine, and they will be annihilated by the Russian Air Force. There's no doubt about it that the Russian Air Force, if the F-16s get close enough to the front lines, the Russian Air Force or Russian Air Defense, they will annihilate and take down the F-16s. Big rewards have been promised to Russian air defense operators or Russian Air Force pilots for taking down the F-16s. They will receive, I believe the number was 150,000 euros if they can take down F-16s. So there's a big prize for the destruction of F-16s. But the Pentagon, you listen to their announcements and their statements, you get the feeling that the Pentagon is relieved to be done with the whole F-16 thing. You know what I mean? It's Zelensky was complaining, Ukraine was complaining nonstop about F-16s. I'm sure the European Union, they were complaining to the United States about the F-16s. We have to get F-16s to Ukraine. The Pentagon, my feeling is that the Pentagon, they know that the F-16s are going to make no difference in the trajectory of the conflict in Ukraine. They understand that Ukraine has lost, and they know that the F-16s are just going to get destroyed by the Russian military, by the Russian Air Force. But the Pentagon, my sense is that the Pentagon was just here are the F-16s. There you go. It's 3 or 4 or 6 F-16s. Take them. Talk up the wonder weapon, but leave us alone. We've done our part. We held up our part of the deal. What we promised, F-16s by summer, we did it. Now Zelensky, stop calling us and stop complaining. That's the sense that I get from this announcement from the Pentagon. But yeah, that's the F-16 news. This is from Simplicius the Thinker. The Romanian Ministry of Defense has prepared a report on the results of training Ukrainian pilots on F-16 fighters. Out of 50 cadets, only 3 are ready for independent flights. Careless attitude towards studies and reluctance to learn English, decline in athletic performance due to weight gain and alcohol consumption. The training was considered successful. Of course it was. It was super successful. So that's the Romanian military assessment of the training of the F-16 pilots, the Ukrainian F-16 pilots. Only out of 50 cadets, only 3 are ready for independent flights. That doesn't mean that they're ready to take on the Russian Air Force, an experienced, battle-ready Russian Air Force and Russian pilots. They're just ready for independent flights. 3 out of 50, according to the Romanian Ministry of Defense. And the Ukrainian pilots that were hanging out in Romania, they were not learning English. They were getting drunk, they were partying it up, and they were reluctant to study. If I was a pilot chosen to attend this training academy in Romania, knowing that if I did very well in the training, I would be sent by NATO to my certain death, my certain annihilation by the Russian Air Force, yeah, I would be failing exams and partying it up as well. Absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't learn English. I'd be like English. Niet понимаю. No comprendes, señor. That's what I would be telling my instructors. I would be failing every single English exam. Every single one. And I would be partying it up. I'm sure they're staying at a nice hotel or nice accommodations. I'm sure they're getting good meals, the pilots. I wouldn't want to leave Romania either. No chance. To do what? To be sent to fight the Russian Air Force? Or to go up against Russian air defense systems, the best in the world? No. So this does not surprise me at all, this statement from the Romanian Ministry of Defense. Oh boy, so that is the F-16 wonder weapon. Let's now talk about what CNN is reporting, which is that Iran is going to retaliate against Israel for the strike, the missile strike, or maybe even a drone strike. No one is really sure what happened in Tehran, the exact situation of what happened in Tehran, but Iran is going to strike at Israel very, very hard in the next 72 hours. This is what the Pentagon is reporting to CNN. The New York Times is also reporting that Iran will strike Israel. And it's going to be, according to the New York Times, it's going to be a big strike. This is for the assassination of Haniyeh, who was in Iran attending the new president's inauguration. And for Iran, they have to retaliate. because this was a strike into Iran's capital. Where were Iran's air defense systems? How did this happen? A lot of people are asking questions. Was this a missile from outside of Iran? Was this launched from inside of Iran? Was this a missile or was this a drone? How did they pinpoint Haniyeh's exact location? As I said yesterday, the reports are that this was spyware on his mobile device on WhatsApp. But how did all of this happen on what was an inauguration event where you would imagine that the security in Tehran for this inauguration would be at its highest level? From what I read, Haniyeh was actually 750 meters from the Iranian president's residence. 750 meters. And this is where they took him out. So a lot of questions about how this happened in Tehran, in the capital of Iran. So Iran has to retaliate. They have to respond. They don't really have much choice, and it can't be the type of response that we saw a couple of months ago. According to the New York Times and CNN, this is going to be a big retaliation. That's what they're reporting. But Lloyd Austin yesterday, he said that the United States is trying to use diplomatic back channels to speak with Iran and to try and find some sort of de-escalation. Israel, from what I understand, Israel has actually gotten messages to Iran. Once again, back channel diplomacy, and Israel is warning Iran that they're ready for war. If Iran retaliates in a big way, then Israel is saying that they're ready to escalate even further. So that is the situation in Iran. And we will move now back to... No, we will not go to Ukraine just yet. Let's talk about Foreign Minister Szijjártó, Hungary's Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó. He said yesterday that the oil blockade, Ukraine blocking the transit of Russian oil to Hungary and to Slovakia, Peter Szijjártó said that he believes, or he has a hunch, that the European Commission is behind this blockade. What was I saying a week ago? I don't know much, but every now and then I get things right. Every now and then. I joke around a lot, but every now and then I do get things right. And I said, when this story was coming out, I said, this feels like Ursula is behind this treachery. Oh boy. So Peter Szijjártó, he is saying, yeah, it looks like Ursula and the European Commission, they're actually the ones that are green lighting Ukraine's blockade of Russian oil to Hungary in order to punish Hungary, punish Slovakia, because they want to see an end to the conflict in Ukraine. Brussels remains silent despite the threat to the energy security of 2 EU member states and clear violation of EU-Ukraine association agreements, Szijjártó wrote in a post on Facebook. The diplomat was referring to a deal signed in 2014 after the Western-backed Maidan coup overthrew the then Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych. Szijjártó suggested that either the EC is too weak to protect the fundamental interests of Slovakia and Hungary, or it was Brussels, not Kiev, that orchestrated the move to blackmail the two states that support peace and refuse to send weapons to Ukraine. Mr. Foreign Minister Szijjártó, of course, the European Union, the European Commission is giving Ukraine permission, or at a very minimum, they're just looking the other way as Ukraine blocks the transit of oil to Hungary and to Slovakia. Of course, that's what's going on. Yeah. 2 EU member states are having their oil, their energy, blocked by a country that's not even in the European Union. And what does the president of the European Union, of the European Commission, who does she side with? She sides with the country that's not in the European Union. What signal does that send to other EU member states when your own commission doesn't have your back and they choose the comedian in a green t-shirt over you, an EU member state? What signal, what message does that send to other EU countries? Ah, boy. So this used to be a Costa Coffee. The most popular, this used to be the most popular cafe in all of Nicosia, and for some reason it shut down. I don't know why, but man, everything is closing down in Nicosia. Everything is closing down here. Anyway, let's move on and let's get to Project Ukraine. And we have a report from Time magazine with the title, "The Uneasy Alliance Between Kamala Harris and Volodymyr Zelensky." That's right. Time is reporting that Kamala Harris does not like Zelensky, and that Zelensky is not too fond of Kamala Harris. And this goes way back to the Munich Security Council meeting that took place in February, March 2022, where Kamala was representing the United States. Zelensky was there running around the Munich Security Council saying, Ukraine's going to get a nuke, Ukraine's going to get a nuke. I'm simplifying it a bit, but embellishing it a bit, but that's what Zelensky was doing. That was when Zelensky was still wearing a suit and tie. That's when he was still suiting up. This is before he got his new role as the green t-shirt guy. But yeah, he was at Munich talking up conflict with Russia, trying to get sanctions on Russia, trying to get weapons to Ukraine so they could fight Russia, and talking about nuclear weapons, or trying to get weapons so that they can prevent the Russian invasion. That's what Zelensky was doing at Munich, and then talking about getting nukes. Kamala was also in Munich, and Time magazine was reporting that Kamala was not too hot on the idea of escalating with Russia. That's basically what Time is reporting. She met with Zelensky, and she was not too excited about sanctions. She was not too excited about going to war with Russia, or the U.S. being in a proxy war with Russia, and Zelensky didn't like this. Zelensky wanted weapons and money. Kamala, why you don't give me weapons and money? Why not? Why not, Kamala? What problem you have? And Kamala was like, nope, this is not a good idea. This is what Time is reporting. So they're making it to appear as if Kamala Harris was a moderate voice in all of this. That's what Time is reporting. That is what Time is saying. But you know, I'm kind of believing this. And I'll tell you why. Because I've always said that Kamala is coming more from the Obama school than the Clinton school, the Obama clan than the Clinton clan. And if this reporting from Time is to be believed, then it does line up with Obama's policy towards Ukraine. I'm not saying that Obama did not want to send weapons to Ukraine. I'm not saying that Obama did not want to escalate in Ukraine or cause trouble for Russia, or that Obama did not hate Putin. All those things. Obama hated Putin. He hated Russia. He wanted to escalate with Russia. He wanted to cause problems for Russia. He was more than willing to use Ukraine to cause those problems. But Obama did not want to cross the red line of actual war with Russia. It was Obama who famously said that Russia has escalatory dominance in Ukraine, and he didn't want to push things too far. Can we give Russia problems? Yeah. Can we put sanctions on Russia? Yeah. Can we cause difficulties for Putin? Yes. Are we willing to use Ukraine to cause those difficulties? Sure. Are we going to agree to the Minsk deals? No. I mean, all those things. Should we send weapons to Ukraine? Obama was for all those things, but he didn't want to actually get into a war or a proxy war with Russia. because he understood that Russia would win. He understood that. He said that Russia, escalatory dominance, and this was back in 2014, 15, when Russia militarily, economically was much weaker. He understood that the US and the collective West would not be able to win in a conflict or a proxy war with Russia. So I can see Kamala getting this information or this line of policy from the Obama family and being at Munich and also taking the position that most likely Obama would take if he was to speak with Zelensky in Munich. Obama would probably tell Zelensky the same thing. You're going to lose. You're going to lose to Russia. You're going to lose in a war with Russia. We're going to lose in a proxy war with Russia. I'm not for this. So that's why I think this kind of lines up Times reporting and Kamala's stance towards Project Ukraine before Ukraine became Project Ukraine. Now, this doesn't mean that Kamala wasn't brought into line, as was Obama, once everything started up. And the Biden family, most likely the Clinton family as well, and the neocons, once they started to ramp up escalation with Russia, Obama fell in line and he got on board with the proxy war, as did Kamala. But back in 2022, it makes sense that Kamala, very much like Obama, would be hesitant to start a war with Russia, knowing that the collective West was going to lose. So anyway, that's Times' report of the relationship between Harris and Zelensky. Zelensky doesn't like Harris. Harris doesn't like Zelensky. And not many people around the world like either of the two. Right? Not many people like Zelensky. Not many people like Harris. So, go figure. Anyway, let's see. Die Welt, the German publication. Alexander talked about this in his video update yesterday. They are reporting that behind closed doors, according to their sources, the EU officials, like top-ranked EU officials and prime ministers, presidents, as well as US officials, but mostly EU that they contacted, that they interviewed, they know that they lost this proxy war against Russia. They don't want to say it publicly, though. They don't want to say it publicly. They know they lost. They know Russia won. They admitted to Die Welt that Ukraine's not going to get any territory. They're not going to make any gains. It's a disaster for Zelensky. It's a disaster for Ukraine. It's a disaster for Europe and the collective West. They understand this. They're finally admitting this. They're accepting this. But the EU officials, now get this, the EU officials, they know all of this. They know they lost. They know Ukraine has lost. But they still want to continue the war for at least another 6 to 9 months, and then they're going to be ready for peace and negotiations. So they want Ukraine military to continue to fight, to continue to die for another 6 to 9 months, knowing that they're not going to win. They have no chance of winning, so that eventually in 6 to 9 months, the EU can somehow figure out a narrative or a way to present a ceasefire or peace negotiations which isn't too embarrassing for them. That's awful, horrible. These are the people that are running the European Union. These are the people that are leaders of the EU. It just shows you what they actually think of Ukraine and Ukrainian lives. They want the military to actually fight the Russians, knowing that they have no chance to win, just so that they can figure out a way to save face. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And if you're a Ukrainian soldier and you get wind of this story from Die Welt, what are you thinking? What are you thinking if you're in Ukraine? Anyway, that's the story from out of Germany. Le Monde, they are also reporting. They interviewed Zelensky. They are reporting that Zelensky is also ready for negotiations in the next 6 to 9 months. You see, everything's lining up. Zelensky is starting to talk negotiations. He told Le Monde that if the international community wants Russia to participate in second peace summit, which he's trying to put together, the second peace summit before the U.S. elections, if they want Russia to participate, Zelensky said, Who's he to stop Russia from participating if the international community wants Russia involved? And Zelensky is hinting at the fact that Ukraine is not going to get any territory from Russia, that Russia now controls. Ukraine's not going to get any territory. And Zelensky even hinted at some sort of a referendum, saying that agreeing to peace with Russia is too much for a single person, a president, to decide, and that most likely something like this will have to be decided by a referendum. So even Zelensky is starting to realize that it's game over. And I imagine that Zelensky and Podolyak, they are preparing their suitcases, their luggage to exit stage left, to get out of Dodge, figure out a way out of Ukraine when everything collapses, or when everything's negotiated, because even if they negotiate some sort of a ceasefire or a peace, it is going to be in the form of a capitulation and a victory for Russia. And the Banderites are not going to be happy with Zelensky. The Banderites are not going to be happy with the collective West. They're going to lash out at the collective West as well. Yeah. So that's what Le Monde is reporting. And one more story before we get to our clown world from El País. The mystery of Argentina's gold. Milei admits that it was transferred abroad without specifying the quantities or destination. What is going on with Milei and Argentina's gold? Interesting story. Many people are saying that this gold is being used as collateral for what eventually will be a loan to Argentina. And that is why Milei is transferring all of this gold out of country. Who knows? Maybe Milei and Zelensky. Maybe Milei and Zelensky are going to move in together. I don't know. With all of this gold, we'll get some sort of reality TV show. The Real World with Milei and Zelensky. Wouldn't that be interesting? That would be an interesting show. Milei and Zelensky hanging out in like a big mansion in Miami or something with just bars of gold in their house, going to clubs, living it up. Anyway, that's the final story for today. I do have a clown world, actually. And once again, it's Elon Musk. Elon Musk is, I don't know, he's making a run for Clown of the Year. He is making a run for Clown of the Year. Triggered by Maduro, triggered by Venezuela. And Maduro unites the United States of America. The one person that has united the USA, left, right, center, libertarian, neo-lib, neocon, warmonger, America first, the one person who has united them all, it is Maduro, the great unifier, Nicolas Maduro. Musk has accepted Maduro's call for a fight. Maduro said that he's ready to fight Elon Musk. He's challenged Elon Musk to a fight, and Elon Musk yesterday, in a reply to a tweet from, I believe from Mario Naufal, Musk said that he's ready to take on Maduro in a fight. In the octagon, Musk against Maduro. And many people believe that Musk would win in a fight against Maduro. I don't know about that. From what I understand, Musk is trained. He's trained MMA and martial arts and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But I don't know. Maduro's a big guy. He's a really big guy. At least that's how he looks on video. So if Maduro would actually get a hold of Musk, I don't know. I think Maduro would cause a lot of damage in a fight with Musk. Anyway, that's the clown world. Once again, Musk is just looking foolish when it comes to Venezuela. Looking very, very foolish. But so be it. That's the video, everybody. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and Twitter X. And go to the Duran shop. Pick up some merch, limited edition merch. The link is in the description box down below. Take care.